put in a lot of effort today and we keep putting that effort one day and after the another.
Introspection, that where you need to pause, so that it's not about that we are wasting time when we are pausing, and I'm just bringing the conversation again for the students. Pause and do something that makes them feel happy. Maybe doing some hobby, maybe taking a walk, maybe listening to their favorite music, having absolutely no screen time. And why I'm saying again and again no screen time is because
Ma'am, we firmly believe that you put a lot of importance on mental health.
yeah,
So how does that has shaped your leadership in corporate culture?
take a pause now, come back with fresh thoughts tomorrow. And the next day, fantastically, one of the team member gave a very good insight which we were not able to locate earlier.
Hello all, welcome to our podcast, a podcast where we try to dive into the extraordinary minds of people. People who have either broken barriers, shaped industries, or those who can inspire billions. Today we have a very special guest with us, Anuradha Goyal, who has been a strategic marketing expert and has 15 plus years of experience of working with fintech and FMCG industries. And today, she is not just a marketing expert, she is also a communication leader and has represented her company on various platforms. She believes in holistic and overall sustainable growth of young professionals, wherein not just the professional growth is considered, but also the mental well being, mindfulness, and also physical health of young professionals is also taken care of. So please stay tuned till last of the podcast and let's hear her story and welcome our guest. Welcome, ma'am, to the podcast and please introduce yourself.
Thank you so much for calling me here. You have said a lot about me. I would just sum up that I'm just trying to be the best version of myself every passing day. And in this chaotic day to day corporate life, I'm just trying to find a balance where, mindfulness and yoga, and through these alternate methods, we are able to enhance our productivity and still be sustainable and relevant in the times to come.
Yes, ma'am. So let's begin with understanding the concept of sustainable growth of young professionals. According to you, how can one be sustainable in this growth pattern?
See, corporate life these days is very hectic. I have seen even the people who are at the top notch getting worked out or getting
Yes.
burnout. It's not that they are lacking capability, but it's just that they refuse to reset. They refuse to take a pause. That's where mindfulness comes into picture. Mindfulness is not about avoiding stress, because stress cannot be removed from our lives. It's all about taking a pause
Yes.
and reflecting in ourselves that how we can reset and rework so that the output gets better. So I think it's very, very important these days, because of the kind of schedules that we are working, and especially for the students,
Yes.
because there's a lot of things that they're managing in and out. There are competitive exams, there is peer pressure, they have to do a lot of things together at one go.
Yes.
So I feel that they really need some time to relax, reset, and then restart
Yes.
their work.
Also, ma'am, I believe that sustainable growth is important because if we put in a lot of effort today and we keep putting that effort one day and after the another, that day will come that when we will burn out, and
Yes.
then the effort that I was putting on first day, I will not be able to put maybe on 100th day. So, in order to be sustainable, I think all things need to be taken care of along with this professional and career growth or focus on studies. We need to focus on our mental life as well, because वो तभी वो बढ़ता जाएगा और हम eventually 100 डे पे भी उतने ही प्रोडक्टिव होंगे जितने हम फर्स्ट डे पे थे.
No, absolutely. I think it's just that the person who runs very fast
Yes.
often get tired very early.
Yes.
And there is a very famous story which we all have heard when we were kids, the rabbit and the tortoise. I
Yes.
think somebody who was very relaxed, ki, I'm running at a pace, I would be able to achieve the end goal. But on the other hand, somebody who was a tortoise was very consistent, very,
Yes.
was taking relevant pauses, but
Hmm.
was consistent with his journey. At the
Yes.
end of the day, he was the one who was able to succeed and who was able to run the race. So that's
Yes.
exactly what happens in our real lives.
Yes.
Uh, to have that balance, to have that mindfulness, to have that introspection, that where you need to pause,
Hmm.
so that it's not about that we are wasting time when we are pausing. And I'm just bringing the conversation again for the students. A lot of times students think that, if I take rest, I might be lagging behind because my friends must have done the entire course by now. But it's actually the other way around. They're giving themselves the time so
To
that they to
rejuvenate.
rejuvenate their
Yes.
energies, to build back,
Yes.
so that they can perform better.
Yes. Yes.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
So when we talk about corporate culture or the education system, which is the burden of the burden of the school bag is heavier than the weight of the child.
Yeah.
We usually see this, and also in corporate life where deadlines to be taken care of, the EODs need to be submitted by the end of the day while you leave the office. So while we look at all of this, do you think that mental health is also taken care of? Because I know that the HR systems of these corporate offices often speak about that, yes, we take care of mental health of employees by giving them a free Friday, by doing free fun Friday activities and everything, or doing some special activities on weekends. So do you really think that mental health is taken care of by all of these activities that they do?
Of course, in the recent time, there has been a lot of awareness when
Okay.
it comes down to corporate sector about mental well-being of their employees. But having said that, I don't think it's a one-day job. In corporates, HR can organize once a week or a once in a month assignment or a break for you. But this is something that needs a conscious, consistent effort. And if we really want that, it should be a part of our DNA as we grow in the
Yeah.
life.
Yeah.
I think there has to be consistent efforts every day. And
Okay.
it doesn't mean that you really need to sit for 30 minutes or 20 minutes. Even a conscious effort of sitting 10 minutes, having no screen time, having sitting with yourself, journaling, or having working on your breath work, etc. These small single steps really pave a very long way when it comes down to having sustainable effort, and it really helps in bringing your mental health to an elevated level.
Yeah. So I can understand that it's just not the responsibility of the corporate house that
Of
you are working in,
course.
but it's your responsibility.
Of course it
Yes,
is.
yes,
Of
yes.
course.
Yeah. So, like we said, that break your syllabus into six halves, focus on one half first, and take a break, and then focus on the another
Yes.
half of your syllabus, or maybe taking a walking break between you or working in your corporate. And I think all of these things elaborate that it's the responsibility of the employee as well, along with the
Yes.
corporate house, to be sustainable in this growth pattern. Okay. So while this podcast is being shown to everybody, the main target audience is our students, and there are many students out there who is listening to this podcast. Can you brief out some strategies that can help the students in reducing that stress, being sustainable in their learning patterns, or the young professionals for their growth pattern? How to be sustainable? What are the strategies or what are the lifestyle changes that they can inculcate for being sustainable, for avoiding that burnout?
See, world out there is very competitive.
Yes.
Uh, we usually say in corporate world, it's deadlines, competition.
Yes.
Like you said, assignments needs to be delivered at the
Yes.
end of the day, and it goes for students as well.
Yes. Yes.
They are also fighting multiple battles at one go. For them, first and foremost is realizing and not having guilty when they feel that having rest, restart is okay.
Yeah.
It's okay if you're feeling burnout because you're handling too many things. But
Yes.
what is important is to realize the importance of pause also. That they should really take out time, pause, and do something that makes them feel happy. Maybe doing some hobby, maybe taking a walk, maybe listening to their favorite music, having absolutely no screen time. And why I'm saying again and again no screen time is because there's a lot of noise when it comes down to social media and all these
Yes.
platforms, which really doesn't help us in rejuvenating to that extent.
Yes.
So I think just hanging out with friends for some time, reading a book, no screen time, and doing a hobby that
Yes.
really helps them, connected to their inner selves. I think all these small steps can really help students go a long way. They probably don't need to enroll for some hobby classes or go to some therapist for all these things. I think these very very simple to do steps that these students can take, that really can help them do wonders in their academic career, so to say.
Ma'am, we firmly believe that you put a lot of importance on mental health.
Yeah.
So how does that has shaped your leadership in corporate culture? I know that there'll be a lot of juniors around you. There'll be many people that you might be leading in corporate. So how does that importance on mental health has shaped your leadership?
I think that's a fantastic question. First is, earlier I used to believe that leadership means that I should have all the answers.
Yeah.
But now, when I got into the practice of mindfulness,
Yes.
yoga, and holistic well being, so to say, that arc has shifted now. Now I feel that leadership basically comes when you are calm, because you're able to handle the pressure pretty
Yes.
well. You're able to handle a team pretty well. And
Yes.
of course, I have always seen that a leader or a manager who is calm in chaos is being able to deliver fantastic results, and the team feels safe around that person. And even
Yes.
in a student life, I think this analogy works perfectly. For example, if a student has a project to submit and it's a group project, somebody who's a calm person in the group will be able to help the other persons who are in a panic situation to ensure that they also deliver, because he is carrying that aura of calmness and composure within himself. So I think that paradigm shift of knowing the answers to know how to work under pressure and still be able to calm under the chaos is something which I have learned throughout my journey, and I think that has really helped me in shaping my career. So yeah.
So, what about the leadership style that you adopted while leading in corporate? So, for example, I have also worked in corporate, and I see difference in the leadership styles of people.
Yes.
Somebody I think who values mental health of employees will be somebody who will work like friends,
Yes.
who will not be so authoritative in his leadership style, who will not just be giving orders, will be empathetic towards his employees.
Hmm.
He will listen to them and to their grudges, to complaints of his employees, and also values their opinions while taking a decision in corporate. So
Yes.
I think leadership style also changes while you value mental health.
Absolutely,
What do you think
absolutely.
about this?
No, absolutely. And see, I firmly believe, and I'll quote an example here. There was an
Yes.
important campaign that we guys need to
Yes.
roll out. And I realized that there was a time when the team was just not able to think beyond a point. And that was the point that I realized that stretching it further won't help.
Yes.
So I decided that maybe the team can take a pause now, come back with fresh thoughts tomorrow. And the next day, fantastically, one of the team member gave a very good insight which we were not able to locate earlier. So that made me realize that sometimes it is important to have that pause,
Yes.
so that you can reflect within yourself, you can introspect and come back with more creative solutions.
Yes. Also listen to your employees' opinions. In your
Yes.
case, the employee gave a great insight.
Insight, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think creativity really doubles down when the employees feel valued,
Yes.
the team members feel valued,
Yes.
they are given their due space.
Yes.
And also when they are not always pushed beyond a point.
Yes.
I'm-
Drawing boundaries is very important, because
important.
sometimes I see that employees are getting calls even when they have got to home after their offices. This impacts their mental life because they are not
course.
able to generate that balance between their work and life. That there is no work life balance. It impacts their mental well being, and I think it is the responsibility of the leader as well to make sure that a person has a life beyond the office
No,
as
of
well.
course. I'll just tell you. So I was reading this quote somewhere with the very famous, we all know and we all love APJ Abdul Kalam.
Yes.
And he said, if a person is not able to work within the 8 hours of the shift,
Yes.
it means you're not a good employee. Because 8 hours of a shift is more than enough for somebody to work. And if you're sitting late in office and showing that you're trying to, impress
Overwork. Yes,
your
yes, yes.
bosses, managers, it means you're actually not a good employee because you're not productive in the hours that has been
Yeah,
allocated
I
to
think
you.
this needs to shift. This is a
Yes.
shift that is required in corporate culture nowadays,
Yes.
because we see employees who are working overnight and spending more hours in office as productive, more productive, and somebody who is leaving the office by completing their work in the specified time in his shift only, उनको लोग अच्छा नहीं समझते हैं, कहते हैं ये तो चला गया
No, but
जल्दी से.
I have seen recently there's a lot of mindset shift when it comes
Okay,
down to corporates also,
okay.
because of this new wave of Gen Zs that is
Yes, yes,
coming.
yes.
These guys are very systematic, and I
Yeah.
think your students also form that sector of Gen Zs or Gen Alpha, so to say. These guys know
How to
uh,
set boundaries. They
how to
know.
set boundaries, how to work in a systematic way, how to prioritize things, and when to say no.
Yeah, yeah, they
You
know
know,
it.
because otherwise the lines are always blur. You
Yes.
know, so I've seen fantastic time management skills with the Gen Zs. Of course, I have one of the team member who's like 23 year old young chap, and the way he manages time, and it's not that he's not doing the work and he's not at the topmost of his outputs, but he just know where to draw the lines, and he just doesn't pick up the calls even if you try to reach him on Sunday, and I cannot blame him. It's his weekend. so
Yeah.
so yeah, I think setting the boundaries, ensuring that there is a work life balance.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
Yeah.
we always get burnout,
Yes,
and
yes.
that doesn't result in a sustainable long term success that we are envisaging for ourselves.
Yes.
Yeah.
So while we talk about work-life balance, a message for all the students who believe in the fact that overdoing and being there in the office for longer hours can impress the bosses. उनके लिए please कोई message that how to be productive in that 8 hour shift only. How to do that.
So I think gone are those days when sitting late at office is going to really reap you results. People nowadays are very smart with the advent of AI and other softwares. I think it has helped in increasing our productivity.
Yes.
So I think this young generation should not feel FOMO if they're not sitting late in office. What matters the most is the productivity and the outcome that they're delivering, and there are so many helping hands that they have in terms of these softwares, etc., that can really help them take their skills to the next level. They
Yes.
just shouldn't get feel guilty if they're not staying late at office, or even sitting late till studying and completing their courses. Once in a while break is okay. You really need to reset and then restart. Even for computers, they also need to reboot time at
Yes,
times, so it's
yes, yes,
important.
yes.
So I think I would just say it's okay to take a pause. It's okay to uh, get refresh and restart.
While we talk about reboots in mobile phones and computers, there's also an option of updates on mobile phones,
Yes.
which states that you need to update your skills
Yes.
by time, and you by every day you need to learn something new. And while you were talking about productivity, you also mentioned about AI, right? And AI is the need of the season. You need to inculcate your new skills in yourself for using AI. So, what are the new trending AI tools in marketing? Like you said, you're a marketing expert. Yeah.
See, for us, content has always been the king,
Yeah.
because what derives a message is what exactly you're saying.
Yes.
Right? I think a lot of helping hands like your Google Gemini, Chat GPT advanced versions, Perplexity, all has actually helped us in getting options to the narratives. But having said that, I am an avid fan of believing that you should not be totally reliable on AI tools.
Same here.
There has to be a thin line.
Yes,
It can
yes,
help
yes.
you do your
we should use
work
AI as a companion.
as a companion, not like it's not the
Totally
whole
rely
soul
on it.
thing.
No, no, no.
It's just a tech stack.
Yes,
It
yes.
is not a 360-degree solution that's
Yes.
that it is offering. It's just
Also,
a tech
it is
stack.
not entirely right every time.
Yeah.
There are flaws, there are spelling
See, at
mistakes.
the end of the
Yes.
day, like we say, that it's the humans who are creating AI, so it can
Yes.
never replace humans.
Yes.
Because the sort of emotional connect, especially in marketing, when we talk about communication to our customers, there is a need of a connect to the brand. That I think any which ways the human can bring in. I mean, no machines or AI will be able to bring that impact that we are looking at.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. You're right, ma'am, and I completely agree to this point. I also believe that AI should you be used as a companion. I think in whichever field you are, whether it's research or whether it's marketing or whether it's any FMCG industry, it should be used to a limited point.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Any example from your life wherein you see that while relying and while focusing on mental health and by being focusing on mindfulness helped you achieve a better outcome as compared to before while when you were not maybe focusing on mental health?
So when I started with my current association, I used to work for long hours, and I used to feel that long hours means growth and success. And eventually, I used to get burnout, but still, I was working more, but still, I was not satisfied because all the time I was drained.
Yes.
And that's when somebody introduced me to this wellness, mindfulness, yoga, etc. And that's where I realized the importance of taking a pause, being at taking control over a situation is only possible when you are in control of yourself. So mindfulness and yoga really helped me do that. Uh, it's like now my day starts with some sort of a mindfulness activity, breathing, taking a walk, etc. I plan my day accordingly. I do my office, I come back, I spend time with my child, do my yoga and other things. I am more productive professionally also, and personally also. I'm able to deliver more results. And um, today, I mean, I've been getting consecutive promotions year after year in my job. So I personally view life as a holistic thing, not only personal or not only professional, but overall the quality of life has increased a lot
While
post
focusing on
mindfulness
mindfulness
and yoga.
activities. Yes.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Okay, okay. So, yoga, while we talk about yoga, according to you, I think yoga is just not limited to mental health benefits. I think it is also linked with physical health benefits as
Absolutely,
well. Yes.
absolutely.
Can you elaborate on this, please?
So yoga is yoga.
Hmm.
Yoga is when you balance your mind, body, and soul.
Okay.
So while people usually think yoga just means meditation,
Yes.
that's just a subset of it. There are a lot of asanas that you do, a lot of mindfulness activities, pranayam, etc. that you do that really helps in your overall well-being.
Okay.
And in fact, I would love to share that last week. In fact, this Saturday, we were at our yoga place, and we had this Mahamrityunjay 108 times chanting session, because it is believed that when you chant mantras, there's a lot of positive energy that you are imbibing within yourself, which is again a part of mindfulness yoga. So it's a huge thing that really helped you calm yourself, that really helps calm your body, mind, soul, so that you're able to be productive.
Yes.
And you're able to be at least you can strive to be the best version of yourself.
Yes, yes, yes. Very nice, ma'am. And I think everybody should inculcate such activities in day-to-day
Yeah.
life. Yes, to rejuvenate, to focus more on life.
Yes.
To be productive as well.
Sorry?
To be productive as well.
Of course, and not necessarily yoga. Maybe yoga is not something that everybody would relate to. But I would say they can go for any hobby, any sport, swimming, or anything that to which they relate, because in that way you are releasing your excess energy, your excess negative burnout energy to more productive one, because then your body is resetting. The clock is resetting. That's why we sleep at night.
Yes.
Because we get up fresh in the morning, our body is now then reset to take up the challenges. Similarly, such hobbies really help us. And scientifically, it is also proven that when you do such exercises in any form, dopamine is released, which is a
Yes.
happy hormone.
Yes, yes,
Right?
yes.
So there's a scientific logic to doing all these things, and how this really helps in improving the efficacy of an individual.
Yes, cortisol is released when you are in a stressful situation,
Yes.
and it impacts your body in very negative ways. And
Mm.
dopamine is a happy
Happy
hormone. Yes.
yes.
And all such activities help in releasing those
and, and
hormones.
and honestly, like for students, they can do group dance activity for 15 minutes, and trust me, the kind of dopamine dancing releases is huge, which
Okay.
releases which will help in calming down the cortisol levels, especially ahead of exams.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
there's a lot of stress.
And I think this is the period wherein people are preparing for their pre-boards, or
Yes.
they're preparing for their boards and final examinations that are going to
Yes.
happen in March.
Yeah.
And I think this is the period that also parents should focus on this, that they are allowing their children to have a good time, not just be entirely focused on studies, because we have seen that parents stop their children from going out, for going to play, or from dancing, or meeting their friends even in this times that your exams are coming, why are you going out? And I think this is must required for themselves to better focus on studies, right? To be productive in their
No, of
corporate
course.
or
We,
on
we,
their
we used to say
education.
that all work and no play make Jack a dull boy. So we don't
Yes.
want Jack to be a dull boy. We want Jack to be a good champion. So I think there has to be a balance between the work and the work, the studies, and your extracurricular activities also during these time, so that you can be the best version of yourself.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, so for last message for all the students who are hearing to this podcast, we have enough talked about mindfulness and the importance of well-being, mental health while being productive. So the last message to them, because these are the most hectic days of them, they are preparing for their pre-boards and then examination. Many young professionals might be hearing this podcast. A last message for them to be productive and to be competitive while being sustainable.
So, the last message that I would like to sum up to all the kids who are preparing for the exams or who have to yet give their exams is that, of course, degree will take you to the places. But what will ensure that success that you're striving for is sustainable is this mindfulness. And don't shy away if you want to take a break. It's absolutely okay, because it's the mindfulness that will ensure that you will have a long, sustainable, successful journey ahead.
Thank you for hearing to this podcast. I believe I bring in new guests every Monday on this couch, and I believe that this podcast with Anuradha have made us learn something new today. We have learned that being sustainable and being productive for long is very important in order to ensure that we are successful in the long run. And for that, efforts are to be put today for focusing on your mental health while focusing on your syllabus, assignments, or deadlines. And for that, you can inculcate a lot of activities like group dances, yoga, and many more. Anything which releases dopamine in your body. And also, cortisol we cannot avoid, but dopamine we can release by adopting all these activities in our day to day life. Thank you. I hope this podcast was both informative, insightful, and interesting for you. Please stay tuned, listen to our other podcasts as well, subscribe the channel. Thank you so much.